Hey guys, what's going on? So in this video, we are going to learn about the ls command. In the previous time, we learned about cd command. Just after cd, the next necessity is to list the contents of the directory. So we are going to learn about the ls command. So before that, let me tell you, you might have noticed that I have shifted to cocalc for now. And the reason is because I know that some of you guys might be using cocalc as the method of learning Linux. So I thought, why not shift to cocalc and teach you one or two concepts in that. Having understood that, let me zoom this terminal a bit so that it's easier for you to see. So ls command. Before I tell you more about ls command, I just want to test the knowledge. Can you tell me in which directory I'm currently situated by just looking at the terminal? Don't look at the about tabs, I'm talking about the terminal. So if you followed my previous lectures, you might be able to answer it. Yes, you guessed it right. We are inside /home/ whoever the current user is. So if I type pwd and if you hit enter, as you can see, I'm /home/user. So from here, you can identify that the username is user. So my username is user. Well, there is one more quick way of identifying what your username is. And in Linux, you just have to type who am I? And if you hit enter, that will tell you the username. Pretty cool, huh? Great. Let me clear the screen. Okay. Now, ls command stands for list the contents of the directory. Okay, now ls commands accepts both absolute and relative paths. So let's just learn ls command by citing some examples. If I want to list the contents of the current directory, I will just type either ls and hit enter. That's one way of doing it. Or else I'll type ls space dot. Dot is the symbol for current directory. All right. And if I hit enter, it's gonna show you the files or folders present inside the current directory. Now, let me tell you that issuing ls without any option arguments, I'll discuss about the option arguments in the later part of this video. But for now, just remember that I have not issued any option arguments. I just used just plain ls and it gives me the visible files that are present. Remember the term visible? I'll come back to this later. So when I just issue ls without any option arguments, it's gonna list or show the contents which are visible to us, which the system wants to show to us. Cool. Now, as I said, ls accepts both absolute and relative path. So if I want to list the contents of say /opt folder, what I'm gonna do, I'll type ls space /opt, and if I hit enter, these are the files or folders present inside the /opt folder. And as you can see, there's a color change. These are represented in blue and this is normal plain text. Well, the blue color indicates that it's a folder. And suppose if I want to get into this cabal folder, which command would I type? Tell me. If you did cd space cabal, then you are absolutely wrong. The reason is because you cannot follow relative path as we are in a completely different directory, that is /home/user. You should issue absolute path, that is by typing cd /opt/cabal. If I hit enter, there you go, I'm inside opt cabal. If I want to list the contents of this directory, I'll type ls, and if I hit enter, these are the contents of this directory. Cool. Let me clear the screen. All right. Now what we're going to do, we are going to navigate back to our home user folder. How are you going to go about it? There are multiple ways to do this, but I want the quickest way possible. If you followed my previous videos, you'll be able to answer this pretty neatly. And that is just issue cd space the tilde symbol. And if I hit enter, boom, I'm inside the users directory. Now, let me tell you one more stuff. ls also accepts the // way of representing directories. Remember, we used // to navigate back a directory. You can use the same to pass in as argument to ls. For example, let me do pwd and it will make everything clear. I'm currently inside user and I want to list the contents of say the base folder by using only // Well, you can just do ls space / and it will list the contents of the base folder. But here I'm going to cite the example of using // okay? So just by using // I should list the contents of the base folder, and I'll go on by doing this ls space // the first // will take me from user to home, and the second // will take me from home to the base folder. Now if I hit enter, it's going to give me the contents of the base folder. Now we are going to discuss some options that we can pass with ls that will enhance the listing of the contents. Remember, I told you that if you issue ls without any option arguments, this will only show you the visible files that the system wants you to see. Well, the reason I said is that because there are hidden folders and files as well. In order to list them too, we are going to pass in an additional option known as the a option or all option, and options are also known as flags in Linux, and flags always start with a hyphen symbol. So we are going to pass in a flag known as a flag. We'll also call the hyphen all flag, what this flag does is it's going to show you the hidden files as well. Let me just explain you what I just said here by showing you the practical example. So if I type ls and if I hit enter, it's going to show me the contents of the user's folder. And this is only a visible file that the system wants us to see. If I want to see the hidden files as well, I'll type ls and then pass the flag A. I can also type all. You can use anyone, but A seems much quicker, so I'll be using A. Now if I hit enter, now as you can see, we can see some new files which we haven't seen before, like the .bash profile, .smc, .bashrc, .hidden. So these are the files that were hidden from us. And the peculiarity of these files is that these files are prepended by a dot. So the conclusion that we can draw from this is by just prepending a dot before the name of any folder or file, it gets hidden. And in order to access them, you have to use the -a flag. Let me take a moment to tell you that even though these files are hidden, you can access them by just typing their name. Suppose if I want to access the .ssh folder, I'll just have to type cd space .ssh and I'll be able to access that folder. Simple as that. Let me go back. Let me clear the screen up. So I hope you understood the concept of -a. The next option argument that we're going to learn is the L flag. And L flag lists the contents in a long format. So let me explain what do I mean by long format. Let me just do the basic ls command. And as you can see, there are two files. Now, if I pass ls space -l, this will list the contents in the long format. And what do I mean by long format is it's going to give you more information about the file, the metadata. Like for boom, some additional information has been given, and for this particular .term file, some additional information have been given. And I'm going to tell you in brief what all these information stands for. So let's take an example of this boom fold file, and we are going to analyze what this metadata is all about. The first part tells you the file permissions of this boom file. Don't worry about file permissions. I'm going to teach you about file permissions in some another video. It requires a video of its own. It's a huge topic. So just remember that this particular section tells you about the file permission. Now this number over here tells you the number of links of this particular file. This right over here tells you who is the owner of this file and the owner belongs to which group. Okay, now in Linux, you can add a user into a group also. So in this case, the boom file was created by a user called user and who is in the group called user. Now what you see right over here is the size of the file. Since this file does not have anything, hence you can say the size is 0. Now this particular right over here is the metadata timestamp of the file when it was last modified. So it was last modified on August 13, 1455 system time. So now what I'm going to do is I need to show the long listing format for all the files, even the hidden files present inside the current directory. How would I go about achieving that? Well, we will be combining the two flags that we learned today. That is the -a flag and the -l flag. -a would list all the contents of the file and -l would list the contents in a long format. So what we're going to do, we are going to combine them together. We can achieve this by typing the following command. You'll type ls, that's the basic listing command. Then you need the listing command for all the files, and then I need the long listing format. And if I hit enter, it's going to give you the long listing format for all the files, no matter whether it's hidden or not. It's going to give me the long listing format. Okay, now let me tell you one more fact. The order of this flag does not matter. So if I type ls space -l space -a, it's going to give me the same as you can see here. Now you can go on about achieving the same by using only one dash symbol. The above command is the same as typing ls space -al or -la. And if I hit enter, there you go. It gave the same output. Now if I clear the screen and explain to you what I just did there. In Linux, you can combine multiple flags into a single dash flag. Suppose with any executable file, let's say there's an executable file called try, and try accepts multiple option arguments like -a, then -s, then -d. And remember, this try is an hypothetical executable command. It's not, I don't know whether it's present inside Linux or not. So these particular options can be combined together as -ast. Now you might be asking, well, how do I know that ls contains this flag and that flag? Is there any documentation which I need to refer? Well, obviously, every executable file has a documentation, or else nobody's going to know how to use it. And you can go on and read this document in two different ways. One is obviously go on Google and you will find a ton of documentation. But the next best thing is to issue man command. And man is short for manual. And if you issue man with the executable name, like in this case ls is an executable name, and if you hit enter, it's going to give you the user reference guide for the command ls. As you can see here, it says ls will list the directory contents. This is how to use ls. Now you have given some description, and these are all the flags present inside ls. So that was all about this video. So I hope you learned quite a few stuff about the ls command. In the next video, we are going to learn about the file and folder participants. So when I say participants, I mean all the file and folder action, like how to create a file, how to create a directory, move, copy, paste, etc, etc. So we are going to do this in the next video. So until then, take care and bye bye.